Hey there, how's it going? It's MiffedLuke here. My name is Luke, and today we are going to be talking about the systems in fast food places, the machines, the staff, and the overall layouts, and how it can be quite challenging, especially if you're someone like me who has autism and dyspraxia. Let's take a look. So I was going and meeting up with my friend, and we went to, it was that fast food place that, you know, it's not the one that sounds like it's from the royal family. It's the other one, the one that sounds like it's from Scotland. That's it. Yeah. You went to that one. That was it. They had those machines that you order on, but they also have a queue that you can join as well if you want to do your order at the counter. Now, I always feel that these sorts of places are really trying to encourage customers to use the machines more than actually trying to get them to use the queue. It's like, you know, we had some people queuing, but there are machines everywhere, you know, like to your left, to your right, you couldn't miss them. Me and my friend, we used the machines, and it went okay mostly, but for me, after I did the payment, I was putting my card back in my wallet. Now, I've always been told to put your card back in your wallet as soon as you're done using it, because, you know, I don't want to lose it. I've lost it like once or twice before. I don't want that to happen again. So, yeah, I did the payment. I was putting my card back in my wallet. But as I was doing that, the order number came up on the screen. And by the time I looked up, it was already gone. What it was saying, though, is that it would print a receipt. So, you use your receipt, and it's got your order number on it for you to go and get your order. Now, this receipt of mine didn't get printed. Couldn't see it anywhere. I'm not sure what my number is, and I don't have a receipt to look at for reference. What I did know, though, was my order. It was a small Sprite and small fries. People are probably going to order more than small Sprite and small fries, so I was keeping an eye out specifically for that order. I didn't really know where to stand. We had a queue in the middle for people to make their orders and pay at the counter. We had a bit of space on the left and a bit of space on the right. Usually when I'm waiting to get my order, I'm used to just standing near the counter where there isn't a queue. So I was thinking, okay, here's a space in front of me where there isn't a queue. It's near the counter. I'm just going to stand there. Now, this might partly be an error on my end, and I'm going to tell you why. I was looking at the orders, and I was listening to the numbers that were being called out. I thought I got a glimpse at my order number, which was like 72 or something like that. But the order numbers that were coming through were like 20-something, 30-something, and it was just like gradually going upwards and upwards. So I knew that possibly couldn't be 73, but I was still keeping, well, 72 even, but I was still keeping an ear out for that number. I kept on looking, still couldn't see him anywhere. Like my friend who finished after me came up to me, stood with me a bit, and then his order got called out, so he grabbed his order, went upstairs, and I was still down there waiting. The reason why I'm saying that this is a spot where I might have made a bit of an error is because I was basically standing on the other side of, you know, where customers get their orders from. But I didn't really process that at the time. So there I was, standing, keeping an eye out for my order, and then some people started gathering near me because they thought that that's where you stand to grab your orders. And eventually a member of staff came up to me asking if she can take my order. And I said, no, I'm waiting to collect my order. And then she said, can you all just stand over there, please? So we went to the other side and stood next to where they were actually giving out the orders. Now, I'm not sure if when she was saying this, if she had a bit of a tone on her or not. I'm not sure if the structure of the sentence, can you all just stand over there, please, has like a hint of aggression to it or not. Or that's just me overanalyzing. Was there even an argument going on there at all? I don't know. It's like, fine, if she said, can you all move over there, please, then I wouldn't have really thought much of it. But it's the fact that she used the word just. Can you all just move over there, please? Like, I'm not sure if there's like a hint of aggression there, or if I'm just overanalyzing. She wasn't having a go at me at all. I honestly don't know. And believe me, I spend a lot of time thinking about these sorts of things. I didn't really engage with her after that, other than just walking over there, you know. And as far as she knows, I didn't even process that there was any aggression going on or whatever. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I should have been offended by that at the time, and I'm still not sure if I should be offended by it now. What do you think in a situation like this? Would you be offended? I am curious about that. But yeah, so I stood over there, and I waited a little bit longer, and it got to a point where I was waiting for 10 to 15 minutes, and my order still didn't go through, from what I could see at least. So eventually I asked another member of staff if there's been an order for small fries and small Sprite. I've been waiting for 10-15 minutes now. And then she went off like instantly, and then she very quickly came back with my order of small fries and small Sprite. So I guess it did get called out, but no one came to collect it. I gotta say I'm quite grateful because I didn't have my receipt on me because it didn't get printed out. And if they wanted my receipt, I honestly don't know what I would have done there, really. So, thankfully they didn't ask for it. Now I'm going to do a quick analysis on what exactly went wrong here. I have autism, I have dyspraxia, I'm in a complex environment where there's a lot of social information, visual information, and I had to do a lot of practical tasks. And that took a fair bit of figuring out. The dyspraxia element particularly affects my physical abilities to like open my zips, put my card in my wallet, put the wallet even back in the bag, zip those zips up, things like that. And to also process all the information that's going on around me, like what's on the screen. This is where the visual information comes in as well, like where do I stand to collect my order. It was not clear to me in that moment. In this sort of situation, I call it one where social meets technical in an environment. The social part is understanding what you're expected to do. That's by the machines, by the signs, by the layout of the place. And with dyspraxia, you got to process all this information in your brain. And I have a 0.01 mental processing speed. So it's like more of the slowest you could possibly have. Possibly even the slowest, really. Not sure. It's hard. Then we've got the technical, so that's the machinery, the apps. It expects the customer to work with the system. If the customer can't figure it out, or if the machine can't work properly, then the staff need to be able to fix it. Another place where I use a machine, it isn't quite a fast food place, I'm going to call it a medium food place. I get along much better with their system there. Because when you do the payments, instead of using an order number, you actually type in your name instead. So instead of calling out a number, they call out your name. It's also a much smaller environment as well, so there's much less information for me to process. I really like the halloumi wrap they do there, by the way. It's delicious. The only stress I really have there is making sure I can actually get a seat. Like last time I was there, I had to reserve a table by draping my coat over a chair, and I had to do my order at high speed while constantly keeping an eye on my coat to make sure that no one's nicked it. And once I got my order, then I made sure to go straight to that seat. It works. It's not just fast food places doing these sorts of things though. Last week I made a video about clothes shopping, and one thing I didn't really cover was the self-checkout machines that some of the clothes shops have. I'm actually left out a bit from the last video where I talk about the payments, so I'm just going to play that bit in this video instead. So this is what you're faced with when you want to pay for your clothes. I would like to quickly say that they're almost discouraging you for using the counter service in this particular shop here, because it says returns and exchanges, and payment. So if you want to, pay at the counter, you got to join the same queue that people who want to return and exchange things would also be joining as well. Whereas on the other side, we have the self-payment machines that you can queue at. It's almost like they're trying to encourage you to go here instead. And notice that straight down the middle is just get out otherwise. You actually need your receipt in this shop to scan it to get out of the payment area. And what if you change your mind about your clothes and don't want to buy them? Do you just vault the gate? Then security will get called. But there is a question. What can staff do to help out their customers more? Like with me, for instance, if I had my disability lanyard on, then would that have affected things? Like the woman that approached me, instead of giving me a tone, if she gave me one at all, would she ever change her behaviour, or would she have acted exactly the same way? I honestly don't know. So you can see with autism, with dyspraxia, with machines, with counters, with layouts and all that practical stuff you need to do, and verbal information and social and all that stuff, it can be quite difficult. Self-checkout machines are controversial. The customers have to do all the work, the machines need to work, and not all machines and customers are up for it. Put it this way, my local garden centres do not have any self-checkout machines. They know their customers. Also, I actually quite like garden centres, and I'm in my mid-20s. Is that also a controversial point? What are your experiences with food places, self-checkouts, ordering at the counter? Have people been okay with you? Has the information confused you some way perhaps? I want to know all about it in the comments below, so feel free to share your experiences. Thank you so much for watching. It's MiffedLuke here. My name is Luke, and I'll be back with more videos coming soon. Goodbye, everyone.